Good evening. I'm student meteorologist Monique Martinez with your Thursday edition of FSU weather. It's a gorgeous, hot and sunny day here at Doak Campbell. We're still relatively warm at 101 degrees, partly cloudy with some light winds coming in at 10 miles per hour. Now we are currently sitting in the triple digits across the Big Bend, currently at 101 in Tallahassee, with the exception being St. Mark's at 96 degrees. Now for our satellite and radar, we're fairly quiet with some typical onshore moisture coming in due to that sea breeze, and we are expected to stay pretty dry until the weekend. But for today's show, we have severe weather in the Great Plains. The heat will still persist, and we are expected to see rain throughout Florida over the weekend. All that and more on FSU weather. And welcome back into FSU weather. I hope you have stayed nice and hydrated on this hot Thursday. We're currently sitting at a very warm 101, partly cloudy with some light winds coming in at 10 miles per hour. Now for our temperature almanac, you can see that we are currently sitting at a high at 103 and a low of 74. So we are well above those average temperatures that we've seen in the past. Now for our current temperatures, we are at 101 in Tallahassee, 99 in Quincy, 96 in St. Mark's, but overall we're sitting in that triple digit range across the Big Bend. Now for our current dew points, those dew points aren't too close to those temperature values. We have a current dew point at 65 in Tallahassee, so we're still relatively dry, considerably speaking. Now for our heat index is what it feels like outside. Right now it feels like 104 in Tallahassee. If you walked outside, if you went to class today, or if you even went to walk your dog, I'm sure you noticed because it is so very hot right now. But we have active alerts going on across the Big Bend, and this area right here you see from Carabel all the way down to Cross City. It's showing an excessive heat watch now. However, they will not see that until Friday. So be sure you are keeping an eye on your weather apps and tuning into your local meteorologist to make sure you're taking the necessary precautions. Now for our current radar, as I mentioned before, we have that typical onshore moisture coming in from that sea breeze, but we're expected to stay pretty dry until the weekend. Now this high pressure system that we have to our west and that cold front that we have from our northeast is really steering those winds. As you can see, they're coming in right now off of the Gulf, and we have light winds coming in at 10 miles per hour in Tallahassee. Now for your dog walk forecast, I would suggest possibly trying to walk your dog or your cat as early as you can, because as you can see, we will progressively warm up, reaching 94 degrees right before the lunchtime hour at 11 a.m. Now, as the days progress, we'll see those clouds come in and that wind pick up. As I mentioned, we are expected to see that rain and those showers coming in over the weekend, so we will have some slight relief. However, we'll still see some temperatures in the 90s, but any rain, I think, right now is really welcome. Now, for tomorrow's temperatures, we will still be very hot at 102 in Tallahassee, and we will see those triple-digit temperatures all across the Big Bend again. Now for our 7-day forecast, let me walk you through. As you can see, we're definitely going to cool down, but you can see on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're expecting some storms, and that will cool us down a bit, but we will still see those 90-degree temperatures. Monday will be at 94 with a slight chance of rain, so we may see some pop-up showers develop that day, but that rain chance will increase on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 60%. So we will be rainy yet warm. So be sure you are aware of those conditions, because when you're walking your dog or if you're outside, you want to make sure that you're dressed for the weather. Now, I'm going to take you to the southeast to kind of look at what's going on in the southeast currently. It is a very nice 87 degrees in Fort Lauderdale, nice 82 degrees. It's a little warmer in Clemson at 92 degrees, and you can see our friends right here in New Orleans are even warmer at 99, but it's beautiful across the southeast currently. For our current conditions, we are still at a very warm 101 in Tallahassee. It's a lot cooler in South Florida at 86 in Miami, but we are looking at those temperatures in the mid to high 90s or those triple-digit ranges across the south. For our current dew point, we are relatively dry with those dew point values being pretty far away from those temperature values. We have a dew point at 65 in Tallahassee, but that will change this weekend as those rain showers will come in. For our heat index values, we are currently at 104 in Tallahassee. Triple digit feels like temperatures across the southeast. You can see right now our friends in Tampa are sitting at 107. Now, as the days progress, like I mentioned before, we'll see those showers pop up. And right now, we have some thunderstorm right here, watches in our Kansas City area. And right now, you can see that moisture coming in from the Atlantic that will push through and kind of bring that moisture into the area all over the weekend. Now, we still have that stubborn ridge that is persisting over this area right here, bringing that hot weather that we're seeing. But it's very, very dry, considerably speaking, in Tallahassee for this time of year. So this brown color right here really indicates that dryness that we're seeing. But as you see, as the time progresses, we'll see that moisture coming in the next couple of days. As I mentioned before, that high pressure system to our west is really steering those winds. You can see that those winds going clockwise right now and really steering those winds right now. And in Tallahassee, we are seeing more of a northwesterly wind coming in at 8 miles per hour. Now for tonight, we will cool down, thankfully, sitting at a nice 77 in Tallahassee, 76 in Montgomery, and 78 in Orlando. Now for our 3-day outlook, I may take a trip to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because they have some beautiful temperatures right now, all in the low 80s, 83 across the board, lows in the low 70s with slight rain chances. So as I mentioned before, I didn't really have plans for this weekend, but I may take a trip to Myrtle Beach because it is looking beautiful. But now I'm going to pass it to Brandon for a look at our national.
Thanks, Monique. Yeah, Myrtle Beach sounds lovely right now. Temperatures in the 80s on the beach. I would love to be there right now, but let's go ahead and look nationally. And throughout most of the region, we're seeing temperatures into the triple digits. 101 in Dallas, okay, 101 here in Tallahassee. A little bit cooler with some of that rain down in Miami at 86 degrees, and a little bit cooler up in the Pacific Northwest, 68 over in Seattle. And today's heat index right now is showing also triple digits in most areas. 101 Dallas, 105 in New Orleans, 104 in Tallahassee, and again, not much heat index in those cooler spots, Pacific Northwest, 68 over in Seattle. So right now, let's take a look at the national surface chart across the region. We see we do have this cold front that is stretching across the Tennessee Valley up into New York. That's going to help push in some showers and storms into our area locally in the next couple of days. But here we have a warm front that is pushing up into Kansas, helping to push off some severe weather, as well as a surface trough, which is going to help push some more severe weather into the Dakotas. And here's that upper level ridge that is just parked itself right over the central U.S., right over Texas right now. So this is bringing up all those hot conditions. And I mean, we haven't got rid of this ridge in the past week and a half, but we're expected to get rid of this thing in a couple, maybe next week around that to help bring some cool conditions throughout the country. Here on our active alerts, we do have in that orange color the excessive heat advisory for most of our southeastern states, as well as in the gray, that air quality alert. And we do have a severe thunderstorm watch into parts of southern Nebraska and Kansas. And for our severe weather risks today, they are in the southern Nebraska, Kansas, and up into Minnesota and the Dakotas. So we'll have some threats for some severe hail, wind gusts, and even a possible tornado, spin-up tornado into Kansas. So let's take a look at what's going on in the northeast right now. Some showers have been persisting throughout the day, but they have seemed to die off a little bit and as they kind of push up north. So pretty clear right now as we get rid of those storms. And into the central plains, we do have that severe thunderstorm watch. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning and tornado warning for this storm right here. So let's take a zoom-in look of it right now. And you can see those bright purple colors. That is indicating some strong hail as well as a strong updraft. And we see with that tornado warning, so we do have possible tornado on the ground. We have not yet got confirmation of that yet. So if you're in north of Wilson, around the I-70 corridor, please take cover right now. And go up to the little bit of the north. Not much kicking off right now, but we are expecting some storms and thunderstorms to develop, possible severe threats into the late afternoon, early evening hours. So let's talk about wind shear a little bit. Wind shear is the change in direction and speed with wind as you go up in the atmosphere. So here in the blue colors, we have the surface winds, and then the red, we have the upper level winds. So this is providing enough rotation for that tornado warning to have issued. And so this is bringing some of that severe threat as well as we go into the overnight, early evening hours. And for tomorrow, that severe threat is going to be around the same area into Nebraska, the Dakotas, Minnesota. So threats for that for tomorrow are going to be damaging hail and strong to severe wind gusts. And as you saw, we did have a marginal risk for the Florida area as well, as storms will be popping off tomorrow and into Saturday as well. But for the overnight hours, we see temperatures will be dipping down to what looks like it could be a high for a day. I mean, 84 Dallas-Fort Worth area, 77 over in Tallahassee, a little bit cooler as you go to the northeast, 65 Washington, and 53 up there in Seattle. And for tomorrow, that heat is still here. It's not going anywhere. 104 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, 103 in San Antonio. So right where we have that southerly flow from the high pressure system is where we're going to get the hottest temperatures for tomorrow, and a little bit cooler as you go to the northeast with 72 up there in Boston. And for tomorrow, for Saturday and Sunday, we have an air show at Hill Air Force Base with the Thunderbirds. Saturday's looking at 89 degrees for your high and 92 for Sunday as well. So pretty hot conditions, but good conditions for an air show. So let's start by looking at our tropics right now. We do have some stuff going on in the tropics to talk about. So over in the eastern Pacific, as we see, we do have tropical storm Celia, which is over in the eastern Pacific off the coast of Mexico. And here it is, finally. I can get the graphic up for you. Here's Tropical Storm Celia, and we have a possible area of low pressure forming over the next 5 days, a 20% chance given by the National Hurricane Center. So here's Celia on the track for it. It's going to be moving to the north-northwest with reaching possible Category 1 conditions, but it's going to be off over the sea, so not much to worry as it moves away from the Mexican coast. And right now, it is sitting at that 50-mile-per-hour winds sustained. As we go over to the Atlantic, we see this Saharan dust. Not much Saharan dust is in the area right now, which is actually helping to aid a little bit into some tropical wave action that we'll get to in a second. But on the western side of the Atlantic, not too much going on to be worried about. But as we go to the eastern side of the Atlantic, we do have that tropical wave off the African coast, and the National Hurricane Center is giving that a 20% chance of development over the next 5 days as it moves westward about 15 miles an hour over here into north of South America. And we see on this graphic right here showing you spin in the atmosphere. So this is the European model showing what we call vorticity. So rather, vorticity just spin in the atmosphere. So the European model is taking this off as it moves over to the west. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on as we head into the next week. But over there in the Atlantic, it's kind of rare for this time of year because typically in June, our tropical cyclones typically form over in the Caribbean or the Gulf of Mexico or even off of the mid-Atlantic states. So it's definitely something to keep an eye out as you go into the next week. So now, Monique, we'll give a nice close of what's going on locally.
Yes, thank you, Brandon. We're still very, very hot, but sunny, and we are seeing some relief on the horizon. Thankfully, we will have those showers come in over the weekend, and I don't know about you, but I could really, really use the rain at this point. Now, let's take a look again at our current temperatures. We are at 101, partly cloudy with some light winds coming in at 10 miles per hour. Our current temperature, we are still at 101 in Tallahassee, and the triple-digit range across the Big Bend, with the 2 exceptions being Quincy and St. Mark's being at 96 degrees. Now for our radar, as I mentioned before, it's still fairly quiet on the radar. We have some typical onshore moisture coming in from that sea breeze, but that will change this weekend as we see some showers and some cloud cover coming in from the northeast, and those winds really coming in from the Gulf, and you can see by Friday evening we will have a few inches of rain, which will be a nice welcome change for those temperatures that we've been seeing. Now for tonight's forecast, we will cool down significantly, reaching 84 at 12 a.m. And for our 7-day forecast, on Friday, we are seeing 102, 92 on Saturday. We'll see some showers over the weekend, and we will progressively cool down a little bit, reaching 94 on Tuesday, and then we will cool down even more over the weekend. But please follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather, like us on Facebook as well at FSU Weather, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube. I'm sure you're watching on YouTube now at FSU Weather. Also, please follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather. And I'll give you one last look at your 7-day forecast. As I mentioned before, we will see some rain over the weekend, and we will consistently cool down and reach 90 degrees on Thursday. So make sure you have your umbrellas handy. Keep your water on hand as well, and have a great weekend. Thank you for watching.